Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty interesting and kind of not good news going on over here, where it seems like PlayStation is actually kind of suffering a little bit right now. We're actually kind of seeing some pretty big widespread production issues that will hopefully be fixed in the very near future, but just want to give everyone kind of like that heads up because a lot of folks have actually been reporting this. We've had a few folks also bring this up to myself, and also when it comes to like making these types of videos, I always do like to use my platform to at least give people a little bit of more knowledge just in case. Even if it doesn't affect them, it may affect their future purchases. And well, when it comes to buying and spending a lot of money, especially on PlayStation gear and all of that, it's something I think a lot of folks should probably know. So we're going to go talk about this, talk about the drama, talk about all these random details that are ongoing as of now. And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. Maybe Twitter and Twitch stream down below in case you guys want to follow. We have the Target links and Amazon links and all that stuff down below too as well. And let's go and sit here and cry about stuff that hopefully will be fixed in the very near future. So one really big thing to kind of know is that, as you guys know, when it comes to hardware, brand new consoles, firmware issues, software issues, they happen. Like if you're going to be making a million phones, you're going to have issues with your phone. You're going to go make a million consoles. Some of those consoles will have issues. It's just like you have to just kind of plan for it. And typically it's why a lot of companies have good return policies or good repair policies. So basically people don't get scammed and the government, well, make sure that we're mostly doing okay. But one big thing to note on this is as of right now, we're actually seeing a pretty big and widespread issue when it comes to the newly released PlayStation VR2. Now, this is a little bit more on the scary side because the PlayStation VR2 just came out. As in, like, these are still people probably getting their first few from the initial pre-orders. Like, some people I think have still not even received their pre-order shipments from some folks. A lot of people have, and they have also had the confirmation emails or everything else kind of coming out, whatever. But as of right now, a lot of companies have not, or a lot of people have not actually gotten their VRs yet. And as well, apparently there's actually been a big issue where a lot of folks are reporting issues with now their Sense controllers when it comes to their PlayStation VR. And as of right now, there's been no definitive fix at the moment, and Sony themselves still has not made an official statement as of yet. And that's a little bit concerning too, because typically if you're going and spending money, let's say you're spending $550, which is the price for the PlayStation VR2, that's not good. You're literally spending hundreds upon hundreds of dollars, and some of these things are actually having a, well, I guess just broken system. Now, when it comes to a lot of this stuff, I just want to let everyone know, I'm sure you can still buy it, so you should still order it, I'm sure it'll be okay. Don't get me wrong, but there's always that now bigger chance because we were seeing this kind of as more of a widespread issue. A lot of people have complained about this to the point where there's even literally like here's GameSpot itself reporting on this. Same thing too is what we've seen on Twitter. We've seen people actually doing reviews and mentioning this. And like I said, it's not going to be like a 99% is going to happen to everyone, but if it's even like a 1%, a 2%, if you sell a few million, that's still a few thousands of people that might be affected by this. And that's something to be kind of, I know, if you're on the fence, something to maybe go and see if they fix in the future. So imagine you're on the fence for your PlayStation VR, you go spend $600, and then you go get it, and for some odd reason, it's kind of broke. So the PlayStation VR has only just launched, but numerous users have now appeared to be experiencing issues with the right Sense controller. So as reported by Eurogamer and other news articles too at this point, a detailed thread has also been shared on the PlayStation VR subreddit, detailing several issues that appear to be occurring with the right Sense controller for the PlayStation VR2. Like a lot of folks on here, you can't get button presses on my right Sense controller to literally register in games, explains the poster. Mentioning that the X and R2 buttons in the head of the thread, the author noted that on the main PS5 menu, there was no issue with the buttons, so it might be a software-specific issue. So basically what this means is, imagine you're trying to launch your PlayStation 5, if you guys don't have the PSVR, and then basically you're on the main menu, you press the PlayStation button, it turns on your console, you go and press on your profile, you go into the actual account itself, and then you go and oh, the menu is cool, you go left or right, you can select your game, go to the store, go to settings, whatever, and then the second you launch a game, your controller will literally not be able to go use your analog stick, your X, square, triangle buttons or whatever, and it just breaks. That's essentially what's going on right now with this. So, a lot of folks are saying this actually might have just been a pure software issue. And as we mentioned too, I just explained, you are actually still able to utilize it, it's still being registered on your TV, on your console, or whatever. It's just when you're actually physically in the game itself, maybe not so much. So there's kind of an annoyance over here because this has been a big enough issue that people are talking about it, people are bringing it up, and of course there has been a lot of good folks who've enjoyed their PSVR. You can really see some PSVR gameplay right there on the screen over here. It's cool, it works. A lot of folks are saying the PlayStation VR is one of the pinnacles of gaming, one of the pinnacles of just things in general. I don't know, it's cool. I think it's cool. But if you're going to be trying to go launch stuff over here and you can't literally go and like play it, or like if you can't literally like launch games and actually utilize the games, yeah, it can be cool, don't get me wrong, but you're not able to play your games. It's literally trying to go play Halo with no Xbox controller back in the day, or like trying to play God of War with no PS5 controller. Yeah, cool, it can look cool or vibe well, or you can look around maybe, but if you can't utilize your controllers, then what's the actual point? You know what I mean? So, I don't know, there's basically the thread itself that was saying that there was a lot of potential like things you could do to fix the issues, starting with the official PlayStation method from the hardware troubleshooting page, which is just, sorry, my voice, which is trying to go turn off the PlayStation 5 off. Then you reset both of the controllers using like a pin, because they are technically separate systems, separate controllers, because it's the VR. And then using a pin, you plug in the right controller to the console, you turn the console on again, and you pair the other left sense based on the screen directions. And there's other fixes too as well, including things like the classic turn it on, off again, which I'm sure most tech people would say, turning feedback off and on again, using a DualSense controller to enter the game while in the see-through mode, while the VR Sense controllers aren't connected, and then turning the Sense controllers on, and all these type of stuff too, or some folks are even just saying spamming the buttons nonstop until for some odd reason, it does end up working. But at the end of the day, that's not really how this should be. Like, you should have everything be arriving at a $600, $550 plus tax, $600 price point. You want this to be showing up perfectly, especially because it's an accessory too, where hopefully people had a chance to go and test it and see if it works and all of that. That's what my expectations are. Like, I mean, Sony's a cool company, sure, same with Xbox, whatever. But if there's issues and there's consumers, I care more about people like you guys who might be in the fence buying a PSVR, or you just spend $600 getting your PlayStation VR. I want you guys to have a working physical product. And the fact that this is a widespread issue that is affecting a lot of these users when it comes to PlayStation VR, that's not cool. Now, once again, there's probably going to be a lot of folks out there who have no issues. Like, probably majority of people will get their PlayStation VR, and they ideally won't have any issues. Or if it does, it might be sporadic. They maybe fixes after you like reset it one time or you recalibrate, whatever. Like, I hope it doesn't, if you guys get it or you guys have gotten it, I hope there's no issues with it. But once again, if it's wide enough spread that it just came out, like literally just happened, normal consumers are just getting it now, and people are already complaining about it, making articles about it, Reddit posts about it, tweets about it, or YouTube videos about it, that's not cool. Like, that's not good on Sony for that to go make that. And while I do appreciate Sony, I'm sure you guys know I'm a little bit of a Sony fanboy, like, I want them to make their stuff work. Like, that's just all you have to do at the end of the day. So, I don't know. So basically they're saying not everyone thankfully does appear to be experiencing issues with the right controller, but some people are having problems with the left. So there is actually issues on either side. In fact, and apparently these issues don't seem to affect every game. So some certain titles like, say, Gran Turismo and Thumper are reportedly a god tier. A lot of folks have been saying how good Gran Turismo 7 has, so potential for them, so very good stuff with that. Or Thumper, I have no idea what Thumper is, I'll be honest with you, I have literally no idea. So basically they're saying that they're actually reportedly perfectly fine games. So at least there is been people trying to problem solve. There is at least potential options with like just like resetting stuff and redoing stuff or whatever it may be. Like, I think that's nice, but I really do think that the PlayStation VR probably should have launched perfectly. But if it's like maybe a software firmware update that you'll face in the next few weeks, then there's no issues afterwards, I think that's okay at the end of the day. But that's just my thoughts. And as well, if you guys actually have a chance to miss this one, apparently all the Destiny folks as well have been having a lot of issues. And so if you guys are getting excited for Lightfall, I might go check it out. I mean, I have a lot of Destiny friends myself in the content creator scene, where basically early Destiny 2 Lightfall preloads are locking out PlayStation 5 players, and affected players are actually advised to just uninstall the game and then re-download it when there's like the proper time for it, and hopefully not completely ruining your consoles or ruining your potential Destiny launch. So yeah, just been issues with preloads. I know there's actually a lot of folks in our community who also play Destiny 2. I know some of you guys comment on that one, so keep that in mind. But basically, Lightfall is locking out players just entirely, and if it seems like if you want to have a big issue with this one, on top of all this crazy PlayStation VR news, yeah, it's not good. So it does seem that these are actually chiefly affecting those on the PlayStation 5, and players that don't delete and reinstall the game may find themselves locked out completely until launch day. We're currently investigating an issue where the preload of Lightfall has been pushed out early in some regions. Bungie tweeted on the weekend. We recommend players pause this down until February 27th as well to continue playing the live game. So basically, if you guys are going to be playing, you guys have a few more days. If you guys do play Destiny, make sure you guys don't get soft locked out too as well. For players who have already unwillingly downloaded the game too as well, you guys can also uninstall the game, go to the game library, select your collection, go to Destiny 2, PS5 version, select download, and then you can basically just go and reinstall the game itself, and they can hopefully go and fix it. But either way, Lightfall is coming out very, very soon. There is no monthly subscription. It might be fine at the end of the day. But like overall, it kind of seems like there's been like some small weird Sony issues this weekend. Just be careful if you guys do want to get your PlayStation VR. So just make sure everything's working, and hopefully Sony can fix that ASAP. So I say I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below if you guys want to follow. We'd love to have you guys there, and Target and Amazon links too. And I appreciate you guys all so much for everything.